Okay. Last we left off, I left a note to myself that I needed to go fight the snake, which is up in the room with the crazy statue puzzle, so I'm going to try to do that. We're also going to try to use the battery to go to the tunnels. It works the same as the original game. How's it going, folks? I think easy is the right difficulty for me for this series, at least for streaming it. I probably wouldn't play it on easy if I weren't streaming, but I don't think we really had to reload anywhere near as much as the 96 game. Like, fully half of the 96 playthrough was redoing content we'd already done. I guess we'll see. Game to game, I'm open to suggestions and comments as to whether a difficulty is appropriate or not. But if changing it makes it easier to save, I'm probably going to err on whichever side gives me an easier saving experience. Did bring all the items I need, right? Yes, should be fine. Hopefully. I think we've got a ways to go until saving is not restricted by the difficulty level. I want to say that's not until Resident Evil 4, maybe, that you can save freely. Okie dokie, fingers crossed. I think it's every Resident Evil 4 and every game after that is unlimited saves. Maybe not the remake of 2, but I'm not sure about that. Nice, that's the dream. Fighting the camera angle in this fight, if anything else, right? Acid grenades hype. I had to kill the snake because it knocked a book out of a bookcase. Makes perfect sense. Don't question it. Giant snake got nothing. Yeah. Oh shit. I should have deposited the ink ribbon. Dang it. Alright. Gotta go walk. I'll be right back. Yeah, I don't think we played on the highest difficulty in Wolfenstein, right? Maybe we played on one that allowed regenerating health or something. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. Maybe I did. I don't remember. I think it was at the suggestion of the person who added it on the voting spreadsheet. It's possible, though. I still died quite a bit in that game. Like I mentioned earlier, playing Resident Evil on easy has not made it less scary. It's just reduced the amount of times we have to repeat content. Hey, sir, how's it going? I don't know if I'll ever get around to finishing it and publishing it, but that Gaming Rudiments video I was working on, I was saying that difficulty kind of degenerates into a time limit, or the time rudiment in general. Like most things that have to do with difficulty have to do with you having to spend more time to get past it and progress. probably don't need this anymore. Go ahead and deposit it. Pick it up later. Hold on to it. Herbs, I guess. God, if only I'd remembered to deposit the film strip. Or ink ribbon. Is this the right way? Yeah. Great. Yeah, I really like the one with the little baby bonnet. How's it treating you, Yukipo? You're in the endgame of Dark Souls, right? You're past Enerlondo, and you've done a couple of the Lord Souls. Ooh, which one? Or which ones do you have, I guess? So I think you said you did 4 Kings and Seath. Alright, that was worth the time. I think it took me longer to run back and get the thing than it did to fight the snake. Yeah, Chaos Witch. I was kind of hoping when they did the remaster that they would redo that area, because it's definitely the weakest in any of the Souls games. I think Miyazaki said outright that it wasn't finished. Eagle of South, Wolf of North. There it is. There are no regular books in this universe. Every book has something hidden inside of it. I guess there's a similar-ish area in one of the Dark Souls 2 DLCs, but it's set up that way on purpose. Like a giant wide open area with like tons of somewhat randomly spaced enemies. I feel like it stands out because like, all the enemy placements in Dark Souls are so not random. Like there's thought put into every single one of them. I think they kept those in the Wolfenstein: The New Order, yeah. Right, it's charming. The unfinishedness manifests itself as literal dragon asses for enemies. Alright, so if I want to go back to the place where I need to use the battery, I need to get some stuff out of my item box here. I think I need the crank. I need to go back and get the emblem that I put in the door. I have a feeling that the second emblem I have isn't good enough, that I'm going to need a backing to it that doesn't look the same. Save after that running, shall we? Okay, so I need battery, take out a ribbon for now, and you'll get my metal and stone object off the door, but I think I can get there from here without too much trouble. Crank. It's an old typewriter. Yes, please. It doesn't help that that area, like, in addition to it being unfinished from a level design perspective, it's also super ugly. And not even in, like, the kind of charming Dark Souls 1 ugly way. Like, the bloom is so high you can't see anything. Alright, I need to get out into the main hallway. Did I? No, it's right there. Thank you, though. Oh, well, yeah, that's crazy. I don't know if this is still true, but for a while, the Dark Souls speedrun, there was they called it the ceaseless skip, there's a ceaseless discharge boss, and there's a way to skip him by abusing the collision in that area to like jump and roll through the rocks without touching the lava. And it's a really annoying skip because it saved an enormous amount of time if you managed to pull it off, but if you screwed it up, you lost a shitload of time, and it was really hard to do, and particularly late in the run. It was the kind of thing you would never do with marathon strats. I don't know, I could understand why, you know, you'd have a category that bans certain annoying skips. Something about that other indentation. What am I doing on shells right now? It's pretty good. Okay. Happy with that, I think. I think I have to go through the dog hallway. Yeah, because that door is broken. There might be more hunters on my way back there, so I should be careful. Killed this guy. I'm going to see what it's like to go back to Resident Evil 2 for the PS1. I am shocked that Resident Evil 2 is from 1998. So you look at the graphics and the approach to Resident Evil 2 versus this just 4 years later. Like, this was a really wild time in game development. I guess you could probably compare it to the time jump from like Atari to NES to Super Nintendo. But even then, people kind of understood how to make things in a 3D space surprisingly fast. Thought I already got this door. This is the one with the emblem key. Saying I missed something in there. Oh, how did I miss that? I guess I need to turn the light on. Thank you. I feel like Nintendo has the right idea. Like, we could do to step it back a little bit. I mean, there are some games where going for ultra photorealistic, ultra high fidelity animations is important. But I feel like starting in like the PS3, Xbox 360 era, that's fine. Like, you could make a game that looks like a 360 game and everyone can chill the fuck out. If it gets me better level design and more enemy variety, I'll totally take it. Now, I probably have to run past that gross lady in the cabin again. Not looking forward to that. Courtyard. I think this is right. I think I have to use the crank after going down to the bottom with the battery in the elevator. Hopefully there's not too many new enemies out here.
This is Brad. If you can hear me, just give me a sign. Anything.
Jilted
Right,
Brad,
Ufo.
can you hear me?
Like Anthem.
Shit, it's broken.
I feel like that the onus is on the consumers to help developers not feel like they need to spend so much goddamn money on graphics. It's like the indie devs are getting a pass for it because they're indie devs, but there's no reason that, like I've said a million times, Square can't make the next Final Fantasy game have Super Nintendo graphics. I would die in good heaven if they did that. It would make me so happy. There's snakes here now. And it's a lot harder to not get bit now. First time through here in 96, it's kind of trivial to avoid them. I don't know if there are any blue herbs nearby. I guess I can go to the other save room in the residence. But the residence has a really long walk now. Well, there's some herbs. Let me wait a sec. It's kind of them to put one of these down here. Thanks, game. Appreciate that. Oh, dogs. New dogs. These guys were in the original game. Oh, I'm gonna die here. I died here so many times in 96. I had that whole stream with the power out where I was just dying here over and over. Woof. So I'm getting overwhelmed by dogs. Yeah, you're right. The industry has been hyping it. That's been like one of the main things that they've been showing off at E3. The review industry, like gaming magazines, have been pushing it forever. I definitely remember games that were fine, but were like completely shut down because of subpar graphics. It's like, who cares, you know? Well, it helps that some games can be stylized, but even, like, going for stylized doesn't really solve the problem a lot of the time. Honestly, animation and rigging seems like one of the most expensive elements. That's why we're seeing the enemy variety in 3D games as a whole just dropping like a cliff. You feel really good about seeing all, 11 enemies in God of War 2018. Yeah, I guess I'm not calling Yukipo for, like, every game to drop its quality, but I'd like for devs to be able to say, you know what, this game doesn't need to look photorealistic, it doesn't need to look competitive with every other game on the market. People will still buy it, even if we make it look like a, Xbox 360 or PS3 game. You pretty much have to mocap. I've heard that, because mocap is significantly cheaper and more efficient than, like, hand animating stuff. That doesn't make it fast or inexpensive on its own. You're right, that's probably part of the issue, this name. The fact that they show you one kind of graphics and then don't really deliver on that later. There are bloodstains underneath the boulder. Oh, they really changed what this place looked like. It's also way more convincing. That makes sense. Try going down the other path. I think this is progress. think the other path might require the hex crank, though, which I don't have. Oh, nice. Glad I popped over here. Alright, don't need this anymore. I'm all healed up. There wasn't an item box down here in 96. There was just the random typewriter in a cave. Gonna need a crank. Okay. Yeah. This game looks outstanding. I mean, the only issue it really has is the Polar Express eyes on the characters, but other than that... Picking this up is necessary to make that thing move. I guess they changed the way this works. Which makes sense. Mm-hmm. What was Metal Gear Solid 2? 2000 maybe? 2001? I love how everyone thought that that game wasn't real. That was at E3. Nice. Huge gaping hole. Wonder what it was dug for. Does this actually do something in this game? This was a dead end in the first one. That's kind of cool. I felt like it was like cut content, that they went to the trouble of having this area that you couldn't do anything in. I wonder how, when you're making a game like this, you decide how to distribute pickups. Like, do you have people play test it and say, I'm out of ammo, I'm out of ammo? Because I can see that being really easy for an amateur developer to lose track of. Acquired shaft. Damn right. They say this shaft is a bad mother. Some sort of key to start the power supply. Symbols are carved on the side. That makes sense. 4, 2, 3, 1. Alright, that's how I combine it with something else, presumably. Placements or playtesting, yeah. In a game where it like really matters, you don't want to give the player too much.
You, Jill.
It is.
Is that voice Enrico's?
Enrico!
You're alive!
Stop! Are you with anybody, Jill?
No, but why?
The stars are finished. Someone is a traitor. Umbrella set us up.
Enrico!
Who the hell shot him?
Traitor? Who?
Just switch the foot my heart rate monitor is on. 1 sec. Oh, he has the crank this time instead of that weird cutscene. Whoever did this is definitely a professional. Wait, he's holding something. I sure will take the crank. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can fix my heart rate monitor. It's pooping the bed for some reason. I need to get some tape for it. Once I get it working, I basically have to sit completely still to keep it from dropping. Try my middle toe, maybe? There it goes. Barry was here in, oh god! That scared the shit out of me. That was a good jump scare. Usually I don't care for jump scares too much, but it was well timed. Barry was here in the 96 game. Good camera angle, too. You think you're going to be safe coming out of this room. Oof. Probably another one on the way back to the save area. You're absolutely right. Like, if they kept making games that look like Metal Gear Solid 2, that would be fine by me. Just, you know, reveal whether that's really important to your design or not, to have the graphics look outstanding or just fine. Like a game like Senua, or Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, having awesome graphics makes sense. Alright, let's deposit this guy. I didn't realize you could have more than 6 shells in there. Right on. And let's heal. Hold on to the shafts. I have a feeling it's just they've written themselves into a corner, for lack of a better term. Like they have been emphasizing the wrong thing for so long, thinking that that was what stood them apart. That's kind of what happened with the original release of Final Fantasy XIV before they rebooted it and fixed it. It was that Square just had all this hubris from making these beautiful, top-of-the-line games from a graphics perspective that they were like, we can do no wrong. And it's like, graphics aren't going to save you. I kind of get the sense that that's sort of where Tetsuya Nomura is coming from as a spectacle artist. Like, as long as crazy impressive visual things are happening, the game doesn't have to be particularly good. Let me rotate this one more time, just want to see if there's other places it can go. Yeah, that's us. I think that Nintendo definitely has the right idea of it, even though everyone gives them shit for it. People were pissed about the specs on the Wii and the Switch, and it's like, who cares? May as well go deposit this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Captain Toad, even Captain Toad looks fine. Like, it looks like it does not look like a Nintendo 64 game, right? More bullshit ink, presumably. Modestly scaled, yeah. I hear your point. Huh, it's a surprising bit of art that doesn't appear to be relevant. I'm glad they changed the way this boulder works. Oh, nope, they didn't. Never mind. The art on the wall there is to draw your attention to where you should go to get out of the way of the boulder. Never mind. Never mind. This was just the other side I was on, right? Maybe not. I will take the shotgun shells. Oh, can you explain what you mean about that for Red Dead 2? Graphics horror was an insult to casuals. It's a good way to put it, yeah. I remember that attitude, geek culture, back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Probably should have brought... Can I just leave and come back? Maybe not. Oh, jeez. Well... Definitely not getting out of here alive with that attitude. I need to get explosive rounds. Forgot about this fight. I can't leave. Hey, thanks, game. I almost died here in the 96 game. I was poisoned and in danger health and managed to make it to a save point before I finished dying from it. They have a bunch of ideas instead of having a modest scope. Okay, no, I see what you mean. Yeah, I'd rather a smaller set of good ideas be executed well than a game have everything in the kitchen sink thrown at it. I've definitely played a bunch of games that have that feeling like, guys, this is too much. Like, I think the problem is a lot of those mechanics have the back of the box problem where they sound really cool when you just read them in bullet point form, and you play the game and it's like this degenerates to something that's not as fun as what it sounds like it's going to be. I think mechanical degeneracy bites a lot of that stuff in the butt at the end of the day. Put the crank back. I need it for a bit. I do need the knife, but there's a new knife in the room with the boss, so... Yeah, no one knew what Anthem was. There were a lot of ideas flying around. Lack of leadership seemed like a big part of the problem, right? There was no director saying, this is my vision for the game, this is the way it should work. I really like that, the journalist that posted that, Jason Schreier, I think his name is. He also did the post-mortem on the Diablo Immortal announcement, which is a really good investigative journalism article. Just kind of seeing what's toxic in the industry. Hopefully 6 shots is enough. Oh, good. I didn't see that. Could you post that link in Cool Stuff or something and link me to it? That should definitely happen. Shit, that was a waste. Got a bunch of baby spiders that come out of it, right? Gross. I will take the survival knife. I think the baby spiders can poison you. Everybody should unionize, but I really think game developers should. I will take the map of the courtyard B1. So we're calling this area. Thank you. Hey, Agadi, how you doing? How was your Wednesday/Thursday treating you? Did that end? So is there a secret passage in... Ah, I forgot I did need it again. Alright, that's okay. We can go drop stuff off and come back. I think I made the same mistake in the 96 game. I just forgot. Baby spiders are gone. That's nice. I'm really impressed at the fidelity of this game. Like, it definitely added a lot of new stuff, but all the stuff that was in the original game is still here. I can't really think of anything significant that was cut. Which they didn't really have to do that. Alright. Zero Mission's the same way, where it keeps the super janky NES map of the game while adding a bunch of cool new stuff. Alright, to get the crank, that's why we came back here. Hex crank. I think that was it? Let me check. Yeah, that's right. I sure will. I'm gonna screw that up every time I come back in this room. Here we go. Use this a couple times to access new areas. Yeah, that's correct. If I beat it with an hour or more left, I might not. Yeah, we're gonna play the original Resident Evil 2, then the Resident Evil 2 Remake, then Resident Evil 3, then I think Code Veronica, but I'm not sure. Oh shit, that's not good. Oh, I went the wrong way. No, I guess I'm okay. That worked differently from the 96 game. It was possible to miss that hallway originally. Yeah. I'm really glad we played 96, even though it's the same story. Like, the games are so different. And it's kind of fun to be able to see how they change things. So we'll do them back to back and be able to see the similarities. I did get one spoiler for the remake that I haven't been able to avoid, and that's that you get stalked by an annoying survival horror stalker enemy, like Walter in Silent Hill 4. I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe it's necessary. Oh, that's new. Ha, okay. Goddess statue smiles back at you. Gotta get the statue on here. Yeah. Oh, I see. I think there actually was a version of this in the original game. It didn't have the rotating thing in the center of the room, though. I remember a puzzle like this. I think they got rid of the exit from this room, and they moved it to going underneath the mansion, which I think is honestly better. Tie everything back to the mansion, you know? Oh, it's just a statue of the goddess. Come on. Ooh, that's a janky camera angle. Does it rotate the same way is the question? Yeah, it does. Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, right. This game... I was saying that earlier in the first game with the puzzle with the crates underneath the residence. Like, the only reason it was a puzzle was because you couldn't pull the box, so you had to, like, weirdly push everything around the back. Duct tape? Oh, cylinder. Weird. This is a new puzzle. Combine. Hey, Ludifex, how you doing? Yes. I'm glad they added something to do with this now. There we go. I will not turn it. Cool. How far are you now? Oh, I just ran into a door. There it is. That's awesome. I think that's one of my favorite things about Dark Souls is the feeling that you're stuck and then being like, nope, everything's actually fine. I just found Lady Butterfly for the first time on Monday. Pretty cool fight. Without spoiling anything or talking more about it, there was a boss that I wrapped my last Sekiro stream against that might be one of my favorite bosses in the history of like video games. It's pretty awesome. Let's head back to the item box. Oh yeah, that's a sweet fight. Let's see. Maybe now I'm done with the crank, I hope. Oh, I see. Hmm. Yeah, no worries. Super good game though. Glad you're still enjoying it. I think it's outstanding. I hear you, Capo. I've been going back through the Deepbot database and updating the game we played for every single walk-in in our 19,000 user database. And just seeing the number of times that I streamed until like 9 or 10 p.m. or even midnight with like every Dark Souls game is extremely high. Like, I think I did that once for Bloodborne. Like, no. Every single game I did it at least once. Press the button. Oh god, I don't know. Oh, it's a puzzle. Okay. Didn't think about that. Just pressing the buttons move the thing around, didn't it? Yeah. It's interesting that the click moment is permanent. Like, even if the later games have a slower start like Dark Souls 1 does, once it clicks for you once you get that this is a Souls-like game, the click sticks around. You don't have to earn it again in new games. 4, 2, 3, 1. Wait, did I read it wrong? I think I read it wrong. Let's try it again. Hmm. Four, 2, 3, 1. 4, 2, 3, 1. Oh, this is new. Cool. Glad they actually did something with this. Don't know what's ahead, though. Or they're a little worried. Let me go save again real quick. I think Sekiro is, if you're interested in playing this series, I think it's probably correct to play later When I first started playing, I'm like, this is easier than Dark Souls, and then, no, not really. It depends, I guess. Elements are nice, D-piece, yeah. Nothing bad ever happens in Resident Evil. Are you planning to skip 2? I think 2 is a really good game. It's very, very good. I see why people are unhappy with it compared to the rest of the series, but it's like, by analogy, Skyward Sword is pretty widely considered one of the worst Zelda games, but it's still really good. You know, that's not bad, it's just not as good in comparison to the rest of the series. And I think that Dark Souls 2 is better than Skyward Sword. Yeah. I think you'll be fine if you do 1, 3, or 1 Bloodborne 3. Nice, Agadi. They're so good. Like, they kind of have no business being so good. Dude, I get so many people who comment on that Solaire hoodie. Like, be surprised how many people have actually played the Souls games. I think maybe not the marketing so much as like the public perception of gamers works against some people. It really should not be compared to NES games.
Thank God you're safe.
You too, Jill. A noise I heard brought me down here, but I didn't expect to find a place like this.
It's somewhat similar to like Zelda 1.
Be at the bottom?
There's only one way to find out.
No, I remember discussing that back when we were playing the Souls series, Yukipo. You would bring it up. We were talking about, are there people that Dark Souls is not for them? And I want to think that the answer is no. Everyone could eventually get used to it.
That sound?
Now, is that chick back?
Could be a person. Jill, go check it out.
Thanks, Barry.
Enough surprises for one day. I'll stay here and secure our escape route in case something happens.
Okay.
What's that gun? There's an item box here. Interesting. Must need something urgently nearby. Don't know what I'd use though. Maybe the 2 medals? Not looking forward to Gross Lady. Oh god. We're gonna have to Turtles 1 Shredder somebody. Oops. Yikes. Okay. Fantastic. Good to know. Hey Cal, how you doing? People grossly oversimplify what makes Souls special, as it's hard, yeah. And they oversimplify what hard means, too. Yeah, outside of the weird multiplayer stuff in Dark Souls 2, it's DLC. The rest of those DLCs are some of the most robust DLC in the entire industry. Maybe, like, Mario Kart competes? Great. Great. Fantastic. Oh god, she hits like a truck too. Yeah, 1 hit's enough to put me in orange. Oh, it's for show, Cal. It's not that bad. Witcher 3's second DLC is the most robust you've ever seen. Right on. Barrels are full of gunpowder, but it's too damp. A self-contained 30-hour RPG. Wow. She was not in the original, no, she's new. Pretty cool addition. Mean, but cool. I'm gonna have to break this box. You don't have to play Witcher 1 and 2. My understanding is that, like, even if you started The Witcher 1, it already starts in the middle of the story from books written by this Polish author. So unless if you like want to read a long book series, you just start with 3. It did a pretty decent job playing it for 4 hours of informing me what was going on. I've heard Witcher 1, what Ludefex said. Witcher 1 is pretty rough. Witcher 2 is okay. Witcher 3 is like all-time, one of the all-time greatest games ever made. Shit. She freaks me out, man. She has crazy range, too. I think I just missed her with both of those shots. At least she's slow. There was a switch behind her, wasn't there? Oh, there's another door I haven't scoped. Alright, hold on. Barry? Really? Did you just leave me behind? Oh, now I can't cross over. Maybe I can over here, let's see. Let's carry some healing spray on us, because she's kind of the worst. I thought I was gonna have to lure the lady into the crusher. The cyberpunk sounds pretty awesome. I haven't played Cyberpunk, but I've heard of it. Guess they added an item box here since you can get trapped when Barry leaves. Oh, what's this flamethrower? Just don't need to play with this anymore. That's cool. Broken flamethrower, I see. Not surprising that it's broken. I wonder what I need it for. Barry, you dickweed. Gotta go left, it looks like. Shit, she's still there. I can't hit her at all, I don't think. Shit. That's new. So there's still an item here that I didn't pick up. You don't need to dink around with this anymore? Localization, oh. Box labeled chemicals. Oh, this is new. Thank you, map. No, magnum rounds. Probably should start using the magnum soon. Oh, I probably need to put the flamethrower on that mount thing. Oh, I don't know where it was. It must be in the red door that I haven't gone through yet. Hey, lady. Oh god, camera. Why are you like this? Shit. Wrong way. Camera! The hook is stuck inside the hole. What would I use to get that out? I'm not even sure. Maybe there's another item back here. Try that. It's the source of most of the difficulty in these games. Crazy fixed camera angles. There's no way back. Barry, why? Maybe I can crush the, well, that's it. What items haven't I used so far? Metals. Metal's the only thing I can think of. Can't ride this thing back. Waste materials. There must be some other useful item back here because it's still showing this area as having stuff in it that I haven't found yet. I guess it's not down here. I'm trying to think what other items I would have needed to have to come here, you know? The fact that I'm locked in means that it would have to be an item that I have in my storage box, you'd think. Don't see any shiny things. This is the first puzzle in this game that I don't immediately know what to do. So So it had something to do with making those hooks go up. It's probably to turn it into a boss fight. That I have to, like, pull the switch, do something, pull the switch again, do something. Keep avoiding her all the while. Just see if there's any other guns that would make sense for me to use here. I don't think there are. That might be the reason they give me so many magnum bullets. Try it. See what happens. You get a more advantageous camera angle here. Oh, I think it's a time limit when that comes out. Okay, good. Got it. Hooray! First try. Oh, this is a room. Good lord. Collection of dolls. Great. Is this her room? I think it is. This is like super Silent Hill. I don't want to do this. Water and snakes. Family photo. The mother and daughter seem to be pretty close. Bunch of photographs depicting a young girl, various scenes from her upbringing. Bed is still warm. Great. Sure, I'll take the jewelry box. Still don't have all the items, though. This probably goes up to the cabin, I would guess? Maybe. Okay, I'll give you some healing in case you got hit by the snakes, I suppose. Oh, it's the bottom of the... Cool, got it. Family picture and notes. My dearest Lisa. Progenitor virus administered. Jessica, administered virus type A. Plasmalizing of tissue during cell activation. Virus fusion negative. Action disposed. Lisa, type B. Positive but delayed fusion. Body modification. Constant results. George, terminated. Bill Dizzy, that shot they gave me. See Mom. Where'd they take her? Found Mom. We ate together. I was very happy. She was a fake, not my real mom. Same face, but different inside. That's weird. Have to find Mom. Have to give face back to Mother. I got Mom's face back. No one can have my mom except me. I attached her face to me so she doesn't go away. That's creepy. From inside box, scent of mommy. Maybe true mother there. Stone box hard, it hurt. Steel rope in the way. Can't see mother because 4 stones. Oh. I wonder if that boss we fought was her mom. Okay, we know what to do with this. I like how if she wants to go back to her bedroom, all she has to do is put a broken flamethrower on a timed lever. Makes perfect sense. It is back here, okay. I think there's a save point here. Isn't how you lock your bedroom door? It's even more complicated than that, too. Like, you have to go destroy a box that has a flamethrower in it. Destroy the flamethrower, then put it on some hooks. Really don't hurt chasing me here. Freaking me out. Where's the metal piece? Stone and metal objects. Now I have 2 of them. Make sure I grab the other one on my way out. Because maybe she doesn't go through that door, she goes through the hole in the cabin or something, but still, right? Yikes. Let me go ahead and grab a couple of these just in case. Got the inventory space, I can always use them if I need space later. I think I left behind a red zombie here before. I don't think I managed to get the headshot. We'll see. This area is genius, though. Like, it's easy to get lost in because of the camera angles. You come through it when it's completely safe. Super easy to get turned around. This game's really good at building dread. Okay, these are just regular zombies. I don't think I need to care about them. Let's go. I really like that water. I'm pretty sure, like I said, it's just a gif of actual water. That's cool. How does the original Cyberpunk game connect in time to, like, Blade Runner and other early Cyberpunk stories? Oh, he fixed the piece of crap door. I don't think I read that last time. I kept taking the long way around. Right on. Need to take this back. I will. Thank you. I don't know what the eagle and wolf emblems are for in this one. Maybe it's after I go downstairs in the main hall. This is the right door. It's good. Deposit these two. probably deposit the Magnum. Cyberpunk closely matches with Neuromancer, 80s neon cyberpunk rather than Blade Runner's poorly lit cyberpunk. I see. It's like kind of Snow Crash. Tempted to bring the ink ribbon and save in the main hall. If I had just one, I would. I think I need the inventory space. I read Snow Crash a really long time ago, and I remember very little of the plot. It was this kind of like envisioning a future version of the internet where everyone has an avatar. It's actually kind of like Ready Player One, but a smarter book. I don't know, I unironically enjoyed Ready Player One listening to the audiobook, just because, like, I generally was on the same mental wavelength as the author, so I could see where he was going with some ideas. I guess I really like Lindsay Ellis's phrase. It might be trash, but it's my trash. I think Ready Player One is definitely my trash. Blade Runner inspired. I've had pieces of games, like the entire Omega area in Mass Effect 2 is heavily Blade Runner. Like, it's super on the nose. The lighting in this game is incredible. I can't believe that it's 17 years old. And it's all baked in, so they're cheating, but I think that's on topic, yeah. Way too much cursing in a normal conversation. I'll check a character just seemed over the top, aggressive and angry. Yeah, for some reason PR likes to really feature that sort of thing. The marketing department. An old typewriter. If I had an ink ribbon, I could save my progress. Okay. Hey, look at that. I do have an ink ribbon. That's convenient. Actually, I may have finally nearly succeeded at the goal of use all of the ink ribbons on easy mode. I might need to start conserving, funnily enough. And amusingly, I haven't had to load my game, but like twice, I think. I think I had a puzzle that I screwed up and got crushed because I didn't understand what it wanted from me. This is way cooler than the outdoor area so far. I really like that you can see it in the very first room in the game. I bet I'm gonna need the eagle and wolf medallions. Just go back and grab them. I thought The Witcher 3 was really well written, so I think there's hope. Beneath the Steel Sky, if you forget the jokey stuff. Blade Runner is very noir, but you're right that the tone is different. If you're saying that Cyberpunk is more bright neon than gritty dark. Well, I thought 2049 actually did an interesting fusion of those two styles. That is a gorgeous movie. Well, it seems that in addition to the side quests in Witcher 3 having good writing, they also have significant rewards, like mechanical rewards, which is really hard to get right. Played a lot of games that have fucked that up. So many candles, this is probably a good thing. Those just have to be like, they must have taken pictures of candles and gotten it to look good in game, right? It doesn't look like, you know, rotoscoping or something where it stands out. Why'd you screw me over, Barry?
You're alive. I was worried because I thought you were...
Nice job, Jill.
Start talking.
Calm down. I didn't want to do it. Believe me, I can explain.
That gun
Don't
is
lie to me.
comical. Probably should have brought the Magnum down here. She's wearing her mom's face. It's Lisa. Oh, great. That's cool.
No time to talk. Jill, hand me my gun.
Give the gun back to Barry. I think it was good in the first game. Sure.
Thanks, Jill.
Trust him. When the curse of the chains has been broken, path of truth will appear. Oh wow. That's such a horror boss fight mechanic, right? Man, this Super Magnum is like doing nothing to her right now. Oh, she fell down and now she's getting up. Oh, she just wanted her mom's skull. That's reasonable. Glad they set this place up. Inside the coffin is a skeleton. Wait, there's something else. Dearest Lisa, day by day I can feel my consciousness drifting further away. I love she has this crazy, like, weird coffin with stones and chains that have to be pushed off ledges inside this, like, science mansion. Shots given me by men in white clothes made some of Mommy's itching go away. Today they gave me another shot saying it was nutrition. They gave me the shots Mommy... Oh, okay, I guess that the boss I fought earlier is not who I thought it was. This is her. That makes sense. It mentions the chains and the rocks. They're talking about the 4 I just pushed over. You're strong enough to push those rocks over. You have to escape. Listen to me, Lisa. Chance to escape is the next time when we go to that lab together. We'll both pretend that we were unconscious and that the man in white clothes is off guard. That'll be our chance. Let's put Daddy together. Be strong, Lisa. Jessica Trevor. Okay, so I think the dad, Trevor, is the guy that built the mansion, and Jessica's his wife, and Lisa's the daughter, Lisa Trevor. So that's interesting. I guess they're explaining that there's like this creepy horror house, and that Umbrella just happened to build shit here 30 years later.
I don't believe that thing's really dead.
Me neither.
Leave this place up to me and go on ahead.
Okay.
Barry's got this place covered. Better just go on ahead. Okay. Whatever you're thinking. Just lore that was in the coffin. Oh, maybe it is going to take me outside before we go to the lab. They just added this area as a tunnel to get there. That's fine then. That's still cool. Yeah, they kept this. Right on. Now I definitely want the Magnum. Wolf and Eagle. Ooh, look at that water. Again, that's just a video of real water. Shark jumping events in games make me very sad. There's one that happens in Mass Effect 2, which is almost a perfect game until it happens, and it's like, why would you go with that idea? Where the magic happens. Also a water storage tank. The sign reads, "Will not open unless in first-class emergency." I like that they kept some of this stuff. Have you heard the term before, Agadi? Yeah, the idea is there was an episode, a late episode of Happy Days that had the Fonz like jet skiing, and while he's jet skiing, he like jumps over a shark because Happy Days had run out of reasonable ideas, and it was just doing stuff that was like over the top stupid at that point. So when something jumps the shark, that means that it was good for a while, and it makes some sort of story decision or mechanics decision that kind of takes it off the rails, and it's hard to continue enjoying it after that point. A lot of TV shows that go on too long eventually jump the shark. Maybe not that crazily. It's one of those, you know, die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain thing, that if you don't just end your show, you're eventually going to run into that problem. I should grab the Magnum. I'll use that. Really? That's awesome, Yukibo. I love the Henry Winkler scene where he is like going to comb his hair in the mirror and he just stops because he's already perfect. Can probably just bring the Magnum and a shotgun. Well, maybe I should save the Magnum for the Tyrant. He was kind of annoying. Let's see. I'll try to hold on to a few of the bullets. Rewards watching it 100 times. Hey there, buddy. I really like the way it works. I think it's consistent as long as you wait to shoot them until they lunge pretty close to you. I want to make sure we kill them. We don't want Crimson Heads running around on the way back. I will take the MO disc. I think if I should go grab the other one. I think there was another item box downstairs, but it takes a while to turn all of them in. I think the immortal zombies are down here, which are super annoying. Hey, sit on it, bud. A is such a versatile thing to say. My sister introduced me to it, and it's just a really useful. It's like a real life LOL. You can't say LOL in real life, but like the use case for saying LOL is, I found that amusing, but I don't necessarily have any specific comments on it, and it's not amusing enough to cause me to laugh out loud. The social lubricant word. I heard what you said and enjoy it. Space to put up an X-ray. David Clark. Gail Holland. Something scrawled on a notepad. To use the electronic door, place the initials in alphabetical order. Okay. A, B, C, D. No. E, F. God damn. I don't know, I've played a couple games. Like, I played Bioshock Infinite first, and I think it made me more pumped to play Bioshock, because I had tried to start Bioshock a couple times, and that game's upside-down difficulty curve makes it really frustrating. Like, it starts as a horror game, and then it becomes an adventure game. Action-adventure game. Back action-adventure RPG. But the first few hours are pretty brutal, and Infinite does a much better job of getting you those tools earlier. Dearest Ada, by the time you read this letter, I'll no longer be the person you once knew. The results of my test came out today, and as I suspected, it came out positive. I feel like I'm teetering on the edge of reason just thinking about my impending doom. I would give anything to not become one of them. As far as I know, you're not infected. I sincerely hope things do not reach such a desperate pass. If it has turned out that you are now the last person remaining alive, I want you to get the material from the visual data room. Then activate the self-destruct system in the power room and escape from here. Yeah, they're making this clearer what to do. So I got stuck last time. Make this whole accident public. If everything is running normally, you should be able to release all the rock blocks using the security system. Set up the terminal in the small security room so you can log into the system using my name and your name as the password. We'll need another password to release the lock of the door in basement level 2 where the visual data room is located. As a safety measure, I've coded that password into an X-ray picture. I like that better. Like it. The weird puzzle with the blacklight Adam and Eve painting was unusual for the lab area. This is a little bit more in tune with the zone that we're in. Beg you to put me out of my misery. Huh. Oh, I see. The initials. So the initials of the things that are highlighted, not the initials of the people, I guess. So that's the colon. Colon. Esophagus. liver. That's actually a similar solution to the puzzle, because I think the answer was still coal. I think it's C-O-L-L in this one. Because it's colon, esophagus, liver, lungs. I think it was C-O-L-E in the first game. Oh, it's cell. Doy. I thought it was coal in the first game. That makes sense. Got it. Usually they give you 2 clues there. Cola. Met them in a swamp down in Dagobah, where it bubbles all the time like a giant carbonated soda. S-O-D-A soda. Medical equipment looks abandoned in the middle of use. Okay, they're not super zombies now? Shit. That's not good. I think I held out too long. I might burn him real fast. They gave me some extra kerosene. Hold on. Really? Oh man. I kinda love Japan. C-O-C-A-C-O-L-A. I assume Kill 6 Billion Demons is an anime? I haven't heard of it. Or maybe you've told me about it, I don't remember. Alright. It's a webcomic, okay. My bad. Where's the juice? Yeah, I think you've mentioned it in Discord as well. You serious? Let me burn the guy. Oh, they were supposed to have lab coats. I was always wondering, like, what is with their design in the 96 game? There we go. Much better. Hopefully they actually stay dead now. Tiny eggs cling to the side of the containers. Fantastic. Lighting here is really cool too. It looks like there's some artifacting on the objects. I wonder if it's a video file that's playing or something, like a compressed video. Like I said, all the room shapes in this game are super iconic. Power area. Part of a corpse lies on the operating table. Great. You're gonna keep the shitty computer? That's a little bit less awful. Verified. What's the herb document? It's funny. Hell of a font. Entry into the room is limited to the sole person who deactivates the lock with all the passcodes. Fight those gross bat monster things. The Act. Researchers note, there's now evidence that when the host loses consciousness, the body goes into a dormant state. During this time, the virus becomes active and rapidly transforms and deconstructs the basic composition of the body. The host eventually mutated into a humanoid creature. We call them V-Acts. Weird. Speed and amazing muscular development are particularly noteworthy. After transformation, it becomes more agile and aggressive. Already 4 of our researchers have died from trying to feed it, turning the place into an instant bloodbath. Ever since this tragic and barbaric accident, we decided to call its kind Crimson Heads. That dangerous and precious prototype specimen can't be left there. We have to figure out a way to deal with it. Termination is definitely not an option. We decided to freeze the specimen and confine the body inside the basement of the backyard cemetery. Oh, I mean, that's still really weird the way they did it with a bunch of crazy masks and chains and stuff. But I guess that must be the original Crimson Zombie when you fight in the basement. Oh, gross. Cadavers are frozen and wrapped in body bags. Not yet. Hmm. No, it sounds cool. Need to get into a long-form webcomic. I just keep rereading Aquid. That's cool. They made this area way creepier. I'm on board. Alright, I might go and try to free up some inventory space before I progress. There's another safe room down here somewhere, I don't remember where. It's locked. Guys, back upstairs. I'll deposit stuff. I'm actually going to take a quick break to run to the restroom and grab. has ever been published as like a graphic novel series of books. Hi GJ, how you doing? I don't think I need to deposit any of those. Probably grab them on my way back out if I need to. Hey, thanks for the follow. Nope, I have never done any speedrunning before. Just doing a casual blind playthrough of the entire series. I've never played any of the Resident Evil games before, so this is all blind for me. And I'm enjoying it quite a bit so far. Good games. Do I want to save again? I think so. We played through Resident Evil 1 for the original PlayStation, and now we're doing the remake, because it seems like it's a different enough game to be worth the time of checking out both of them. Then we're going to do Resident Evil 2 for the PS1, and then the remake of that game. Let's see if I can get my heart rate monitor working again. Alright. All kinds of loot in here. Alright, so I think I got all 3 MO discs. I think there's only one that was hidden in the mansion this time, which is interesting. Umbrella, bioorganic weapon, official report. Cerberus. Neptune. Hunter. Tyrant. Development staff. You can see Wesker in there, I guess. Is it Science Man? I should keep an eye on that last thing. I bet that's relevant. 834 170623. New puzzle. Wasn't in the original. Hey, shotgun shells. Nice. Security protocols. Level 1 is a heliport for executive use only. Passage of the heliport is prohibited unless accompanied by a consultant researcher or the chief of security. This is almost the same as the 96 version. Hey, and now they're mentioning Wesker, too. So is he a researcher, or is he a gun guy? Hey, favorite customer, how you doing? Passcode output terminal use and access to the output terminals is limited to authorized senior personnel. Regarding the progress of Tyrant after administration of T-Virus, legible hereafter. So it seems like Resident Evil has done barely any retconning, and as a result, like, the lore for the series is kind of all over the place. Because they want to keep everything that's happened canonical. Like, it seems like almost nothing has changed in this game other than the addition of the Crimson Head and a couple of the new areas that you visit. They haven't, like, fundamentally changed the story at all. Alright, map the laboratory. Back here later, presumably. Can grab and quickly deposit this first aid spray, I guess. Well, I guess I'm still not done with this room. I probably have to get some film slides and bring them back here. I like how the Wesker reveal doesn't have any fanfare, like it doesn't happen in a cutscene. He just learn it there. That's cool. I really wish more games would do that. It's like, I think a lot of game developers have this sense, very cinematic sense of, we have to control the camera, we have to make sure the player sees and understands and groks our cool thing. He wears sunglasses inside, it's obvious. He's a blues brother. I actually didn't know about Wesker, yeah, just because of cultural osmosis. Like, I think he's probably a fighter in one of the Marvel vs. Capcom games. Yeah. It's a very useful term. Describes exactly the phenomenon I'm getting at. Where it's not necessarily like a spoiler, like you didn't like click on a thread and read something you weren't supposed to, you just can't avoid it, like knowing that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. Yeah, it's not exactly Twist of the Century. Well, I feel like they don't really earn it. Like, it's cool that the twist isn't commented on, but also the game basically never talks about Wesker. Like, he shows up in a couple scenes. If you had a relationship with him for more of the game, it would be like, oh my god, dun dun dun. Darth Wesker is Jill Skywalker's father. She's the master of unlocking. Someone's gotta be. Together we can unlock the galaxy. Can shoot 3 bees. Oh, I should have come here first. Lame. X-ray. Hey, is that Genova's tank? Oh, hello. Hey, buddy. Facts. Sanitation Division. Raccoon Disaster Contingency Committee. Contents of this fax are confidential and intended for the name accuracy only. Destroy this fax immediately. Expect a significant increase in the damage done by the recent T-Virus's outbreak. More than half of the researchers have been infected by the T-Virus and died. Man, this, cosmetics company, shampoo and soap makers, they're really diversifying a little bit too much. It's okay if a gas station stocks hot Cheetos and cigarettes, but like, you're a soap maker by trade, you probably shouldn't also make zombies. Security system passcode transmission device. Get an MO disc. I do have an MO disc. I want to get it out of my inventory. Oh, they tell you what it does. That's neat. It's like a little GameCube. That's probably on purpose. This game was originally a GameCube exclusive, wasn't it? Don't want to. Seems bad. Go do the slide cartridge and get out of my inventory, and we'll come back here. Deposit some more stuff. Let's not go in the Genova room just yet. I guess they make it a lot easier to rescue Chris in the remake. I think that you only found one MO disc in the lab in the 96 game. Oh, shit. Well, so I need to go use the slide to get rid of them. I guess I'll do that, and then I'll go save. Let's see. This can get put away. Don't need this anymore. I like the puddle down here. It's a nice add. Is the Resident Evil 2 remake as faithful to Resident Evil 2 as this one is to Resident Evil 1? $8462. Clever. That's the only thing that's changed. It's very good. Cool. Well, this one's faithful in the sense that it basically has all of the areas and bosses from the original, and only adds on the original rather than taking anything away. And like the room sizes are so close that I almost wonder if they like still use the like wireframes and original models from Resident Evil to build this game. So it's more of an adaptation. This one's, I mean, it's not really an adaptation because although it doesn't have tank controls, it plays almost exactly the same. It's just less annoying to be in combat. I'm excited for that. Adaptation is one of my favorite concepts in like art. The challenge of taking a comic book and turning it into a movie, or turning something into a video game. Or the one I always cite, the way Hearthstone reimagines like raids from World of Warcraft. Grab the other ammo disc, but with a card game. Very cool. Alright, let's go in the scary Genova room. I'm sure it's gonna end well for everyone. Glad the researcher zombies aren't invincible. Because they weren't invincible, they just didn't stay dead. Dirty lab coat. Warning, fuel may explode if shaken or jarred. It's like a refueling device. Huh. So I have to bring some fuel there. Don't store your fuel in jars. Yeah. This indie hipster craze is taken off a little bit too much. Like, just because you want to put bacon in a mason jar doesn't mean you should put unstable fuel in there. Done about all I can do back there. I guess there's a door I missed down here. Oh, it's a double door, that's right. Ha. There must be a new puzzle here that wasn't in the 96 game. At least I think there is, I don't recognize it. Pick up the healing item down here. It marks the room as done. It'd be cool if one of the first aid kits had an item that you needed to progress. Now this room's green. Make sure I did everything in this terminal. I think I did. Put it in again? What? No, I definitely did finish it. Unless if there's multiple logins, I guess it's possible. Let's read through these again really quick. It's the one I already did. Crimson Heads. Measures against stars. Yeah, nothing that really is helpful, looks like. Let's try to keep following the map then. I can't go through either of the doors out in the hallway. Well, it makes it look like the hallway itself I'm missing something, so I'll go scope that out first. What could I be missing? There's no other doors that I haven't found. Maybe one of the vents has something important? This is such a bump the lamp. They're like so completely showing off with the glass changing as the shadow passes over it. I need to watch Two Framed Roger Rabbit again. It's an impressive movie. Makes it look like the staircase isn't done either. Let's see. There's something on the stairs that I can do, maybe? I think it just means this hallway has something that can be done still. Okay. Oh, and I guess the room with the projector still has something to do. Interesting. Deposit the herb. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Oh well. I was like, I'm going to save my single ink ribbon for if we have to save on the way out. That's a place where I'm actually likely to die. Alright. Probably something I can do in here still. And what is back here? Oh, is it this thing? Passcode entry terminal. It's gotta be 8462. Cool. Neat. Is the power symbol to go downstairs? Yeah, okay. Image editing equipment. You can use it to view Kenneth's film. View the film. Oh wow, yeah, I got that forever ago. Oh, this is cool.
Get away from me! No! Hey! No!
He's a shadow of his former self. Maybe if you weren't using your camera, man. And so the mystery of how Kenneth died is resolved. It's pretty silly. I don't know why that particular line cracked me up so much in the first Resident Evil game. Kenneth the shadow of his former self. What? I mean, I guess that's true. You're not wrong. Alright, I got the power key now. I wonder if I can just unlock both doors and throw it out. Yes, please. Thank you. I think one of these doors goes to the area with the really nasty enemies. Climb on the ceiling. Let's go on the one that's a dead end first. Jeez. Somebody's in here. But where? Freaking me out, game. Oh, God. That thing. Wow, they changed what they look like. Get it? Disgusting. Oh, it's another one! What the fuck are these things? I don't like them. I am not a fan. Ooh. Hooray! Magnum. Wonder if Barry's Magnum is better. Rusted shadow won't budge. Alright, so they changed the way this is set up. I thought there was an MO disc thing in this room, is why you wanted to come in here. Probably another one in here, right? Body bag lies on a bed. Shelf is full of antitoxins. Here we go. Get them out of my inventory, please. Thank you. Thanks, Tiny GameCube. Oh, I see. Shortcut to get out of here, basically. Oh, there's some shotgun shells back there, I think. Should try to get them if I can. The camera angle is so jank. I think the final MO disc location was in the nuclear power area. There we go. Yes, please. Now this room is done. But I wonder what we still have to do in the outside hallway. I thought I finished everything out there. I guess not. Alright, I think whatever those crawly bat things are less nasty in this than they were in 96. At least they seem to be easier to permanently kill. To the extent that you can permanently do anything in this game, I guess. Just want to know what item I'm missing in here. Still shows as red for some reason. It's based on the vent, right? Tiny eggs cling to the sides of the containers. Can they not, though? Alright, let's just go. Missing something. Who knows? There was a save room here in the original game. Straight ahead. Yeah, what's with people building giant fans and putting lights behind them? That's what I'm saying, it's a complete bump the lamp thing, right? They just wanted to show off that they could do the lighting on the glass bottles, which is cool. I like it. It's a cool phenomenon. I think Ludifex was the first one to tell me about that. Shotgun shells. I might have enough magnum shots to get me through the rest of the game, but I'm not sure. Probably I went with the name Resident Evil. Biohazard is a pretty sweet name. It's much more, like, descriptive. Is Resident Evil even like a like an idiom or something? No idea, yeah. Me neither. Weird. Alright, let's go fight annoying jerkwad creepy crawly things crawl on the ceiling and kill you. That are the worst. Oh, I see. That was the operation room that I crawled over to. Got it. Trademark issues? Oh. Something else in the US was called Biohazard. not getting any power. Let's go in this creepy room that I had to basically run through at top speed before. Maybe I can actually kill stuff this time. 28 magnum shots. Just try not to miss. Biohazard may have been too generic. Interesting. Oh, the camera angles are the worst. Come here, thing. Nocturne is a different name in Europe. Really? Even though it's Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne? We might be confused. There we go. Yeah. I've heard that's an actual problem with Red Cross, right? Like, you're highly discouraged from using Red Cross in video games and just art in general. Like, it's supposed to describe... It's supposed to be reserved for use by the organization to be like, this is a safe place where you can seek medical treatment. So I know they had to cut out the Red Crosses from Earthbound when it got localized. Japan's called Biohazard. You guys just keep spawning? It might. I definitely hope not, but... Fuel may explode if shaken or jarred. Empty capsule. Sure. It's empty. Oh, God. I think I know what they're going to have me do with that, and I'm not happy about it. I think they're going to require me to transport fuel through this area with all these monsters. Oh, no. Well, I guess I'm not sure that they're respawning yet or not. Lucifer's Call. It's a cool name. Fine, as long as you're not using jars. Auto-aim hype. Oh man, happy birthday. Shit, it got a death throw shot off on me, I guess is what that was. Is there an MO disc thing in here? The room is even more confusing to navigate. Here it is. Final GameCube. I might go save if they're going to make me do a fuel shenanigan now that all those things are done. Maybe I can go pop by and talk to Chris. I think they might be permanently dead. At least I hope they are. It's gotta be annoying in a speedrun. I assume shaken means you have to be careful with running as well. It's not just being attacked. Guess we'll find out soon enough. Yes, please. Alright, off we go. And I probably have to go back to that fuel room. But I just want to scope the rest of this area, kill any enemies that are down here. Especially if what I think is going to happen is what's going to happen. Yeah, so like if you allow Crimson Heads to spawn here, you're probably going to have a really bad time as a result. So I think we're going to just barely go over the hour marks. We might just wrap early today rather than start Resident Evil 2. Shit, wasted ammo. Wasted it again. Gotta aim down. Must be why I was struggling with them in the original game. Because I didn't have auto aim and aiming down was super janky with the tank controls. Is that everybody? Anything else? Might have enough for Tyrant. Lab self-destruct mechanism. It's huge. This room makes way more sense in this game than it did in 96. It's a really weird and random room. Shaking chemical fuel will cause it to explode. Okay. Okay, so I think I have to go to the fuel room, the Genova room upstairs, get the fuel, and then walk slowly back. Which, if you're a speedrunner, has got to be hell. Because I assume speedrunners don't bother killing anything, really. Just try to juke everything. I wonder what damage boosting strategy is like in these horror games where, like, your healing items are at a premium. You could probably route it out to know, okay, I need to use one herb here. Safety save. Oh, thanks, Agadi. Late 94, Capcom in the US was starting to ramp up marketing plans for the game that would eventually become known as Resident Evil. Capcom Japan let us know that the name of the game was going to be Biohazard, but I pointed out to the person who ran marketing at the time that it would be next to impossible for Capcom to, I'm guessing it, the rest of it says register such a generic name. Huh. Because I haven't thought of that before. I've always felt like I'm worried that the possible namespace for movies, video games, songs, and bands is so limited that there's going to be a perfect title for a game in the future and it won't be able to be used because some shitty game in like the mid-90s used it. Because it's not infinite, but it's a very large, finite number of possible combinations, and probably run out of single word game titles, movie and book and TV show titles. Trademarks are weird. I don't think it was upstairs. Maybe it wasn't. Didn't know with Magic cards, early on they used really good names for shitty cards and can't go back. The last Hollow Knight DLC had to be renamed because the intent to name Gods and Glory was already taken by a mobile game. Oh, gross. Thinking about the havoc being wreaked by the fucking mobile space, just with game names. Sometimes I don't like our timeline. Watching the evolution of Magic makes me feel a little bit better about, like, watching my old reruns and seeing my awful UI and crappy microphone and stuff. I had to do it. Continues to be very true that if you're going to try to create something, you shouldn't obsess over making it perfect on the first try, because you never will. You kind of just have to do it. Chris.
Jill?
Chris!
Hey, Captain.
You're alive!
Of course I'm alive. Jill, there's something big going down.
Of course I'm
and I don't
alive,
think
I'm
we're
just
part of
in
the
jail.
equation.
I have to get you out of here. Ugh, it won't open. Wait, I'll be back to get you out.
Okay, no sightseeing though.
I haven't seen the new ones, no. I haven't played Magic in like 8 years, but I still enjoy reading the spoilers for new sets, because card games are such an awesome place to explore design space in a really simplified way. Most of the complexities are stripped out. You don't say. I love it. Of course I'm alive. Like, what are you so confident for, dude? 36 planeswalkers? Holy crap. Are they depowering them or something? Do they have that much design space for planeswalkers? Just have to go in the room. You got the fuel supply capsule. Appears to be nitro compound. Running, I love, quote, running, could result in a fatal explosion. Let's not run then. I love how they examine it for you immediately. Hopefully everything stays dead. Mythic rare and uncommon planeswalker? Wow. I didn't think they had any planeswalkers lower than mythic. I love that shit. Magic, the team that makes Magic is really cool. Morrow is an awesome guy. I love basically every talk I've seen him give. Deregulated planeswalking. I love just looking at some of the ideas they come up with, like the set called Innistrad. They were like, hey, all of our cards have backs on them, but wouldn't it be cool if you had a card that had something on the back of it? So they made these like cards that could transform, because it was a horror themed set, so there was like werewolves that something would happen and they would transform. There was like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And it was a really cool way to resonate with the player's existing association with some of these things. Like if you see a guy that is a dude on one side and a werewolf on the other side, like, oh, that makes sense. I know how werewolves work. Got it. You don't have to explain the mechanic to them. I've done some other stuff like that. I think they did split cards for a while, where it was a single card, but you'd view it on its side, and like there were two cards on it. They fit in there. Shit like that is rad. It used to just be for the rich and powerful. Now everyone can travel the planes. One that spends loyalty. I see, that's a cool way to do it. Slash, burn, grow, flourish, yeah. Like how they used for, they used to use that for the set names. Like hook, line, and sinker would be the code name for it, or Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Magic is very tightly regulated now. It hasn't always been. But like they've done a really good job of figuring out like the relative value of different mechanics. The value of the power and toughness on specific cards, what mana cost should be, and They actually do, I mean, it's the closest comparison I can think of, but a lot of Magic cards are flavorful in the way that Dark Souls is flavorful, where you just read the mechanical card text and you look at the art and you look at the name of the card and you put all those things together and you're like, oh, I see what they're getting at with this. That's neat. Like, there's not like a line of text at the bottom of the card that explains, this is what this means, this is what you're effectively doing. And then they'll do stuff like, they'll, through the history of the game, they'll associate mechanics with certain words that don't necessarily need to be so associated. Like, I think bear, like, if you hear that something is a bear, you can expect that it's a 2/2 creature, right? And they'll actually, like, print variants of that are actually bears. They're not just, 2/2 creatures. Anyway, I like to nerd out about it because I think it's very cool. I think this was the room that I needed to be in. Oh no, it was the previous room. I went too far. At least I killed all the jerks. Because you see some of that in Hearthstone as well. Like, if you play card games like Hearthstone or Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh!, you really start to see the sharply limited design space of card games like that, and how, like, I don't know if it's true by now, but it feels like Hearthstone has a Hearthstone equivalent of almost every Magic card with a unique mechanic. Like, oh, okay, I get it, this is Wheel of Fortune, or this is Time Walking. Mechanics are all rather degenerate. This nitro thing is super mean. But it's a nice way to make this area more reasonable. Really? Okay. I'm surprised more of them don't do that. Like, I guess that part of it is the puzzle that you have to go in your inventory and use the appropriate item to know what to do. But it would be nice if it was just context sensitive, if it was in your inventory like the fuel canister was. Maybe it was designed by a different person and they didn't notice the rest of the game was requiring you to select the item first. Thanks, Liana. I will check out that expansion. That sounds really cool. If you're at this point where you've done all this crazy stuff so far, they've done like almost every X-themed set that you can imagine, sorcery-themed set, or a land-themed set. The main elevator has this giant, over-the-top, like, explosive fuel system to set it up. At least the alarm hasn't started now. It doesn't happen until we kill the load-bearing boss, right? Let's go do Tyrant round 1. See if I can beat him with the shotgun so I can save the Magnum rounds for round 2. I might try to grab a healing item. I could probably use the bazooka. I have a shitload of bazooka rounds that I haven't been using. Grenade launcher, I should say. Let's do, let me see here. Grenade launcher. Doing a couple first aid sprays. Shells. Oh yeah, I'm set on those. Okay. I think I need to have at least one inventory space open for a thing later, but they set it up so that you can't progress until you're guaranteed to have the space, so... But I'll go ahead and leave one just in case. Let's hold on to that single ink ribbon. Do that on the way out. In case I die on the roof again. God, it took me like 30 minutes to get back to where we were in the first game. Yes, please. So the how long to beat estimate for this was pretty accurate. Originally, I think it was 11 or 12 hours, maybe? Barry gonna show back up. I hope they do the tyrant scene better. It was kind of stupid in the 96 game.
At least wait it up for me, you know?
Let's go.
You have been useless this entire game, buddy. I'm gonna wait up for you. You're like, you go explore. I'll check the safe dining room. We almost went 33-40% over. Most of that was just dying and repeating content. But yeah, you're totally right. Knowing the game helps a lot. Okay, in case you didn't have enough shotgun ammo, this is where you get set up for this boss fight, I guess. Hey, it says biohazard. Yeah, it's like there's this thing, and Barry's like, let me press the keypad. Like, why are you doing that? Oh, is Wesker not going to show up right away this time? He showed up in the hallway here. This makes more sense for him to be in here.
Wesker!
For him to release him.
Thank you, Barry.
Well, what do you know?
Oh, don't blame Barry for everything. I hear that his better half and 2 lovely daughters will be in danger if he doesn't do everything I tell him to.
Wesker, you're pathetic.
Well, you shouldn't worry too much, dear. You'll be free of all this anyway.
I think his orders were to
Why
kill
eliminate
Tyrant anyway.
stars?
Believe it or not, that's Umbrella's intention.
You're just a slave of Umbrella.
Smart girl. But I think you misunderstand me. The things you mentioned are nothing. I'll burn all of them along with this entire laboratory. Barry, go up on the ground and wait there.
Barry.
You gotta love Barry. He must really be afraid of Umbrella.
Gotta
You
love
and
Barry.
Umbrella took his family. You bastard. Oh!
That
Umbrella?
was such a bad punch sound.
Well, I used some carrots and sticks to cow him, but it had nothing to do with Umbrella. I just used Barry for my personal interests. Though both you and Barry seemed to think I was following Umbrella's orders.
What? What are you planning?
I guess it's time for show and tell.
This makes so much more sense. The scene with Wesker in the first game, it's like, why are they in this hallway? And then you come in here and it's like, why does Barry let it out?
It's magnificent.
For the sake of this thing.
You know, I hate goodbyes.
Nice job.
Barry!
Well, Wesker's dead forever.
Me?
No, you're not to blame. It's Umbrella and Wesker.
Even if it meant my family, I couldn't bear turning my back on my friends again. Shit!
Okay. That's much better. Thank you, game. If you're gonna change anything, change this.
Damn it!
Jill and Barry together.
Yeah. So far, this game is up there with Metroid Zero Mission and Metroid Samus Returns as the greatest remakes of all
Want a
time.
piece of me?
Faithful to the original with all kinds of new stuff. Improves it in virtually every way.
Premature.
Well, that's new.
No, Barry! You viral cultured freak.
Thank you. I am popular on YouTube. Been working on building my channel for some time now. Oh, the camera angles are worse in this version of the fight. Oh, I can't run all the way around, can I? Shit. That's not good. I can see his booty butt. Ouch. I don't know where I'm supposed to be able to dodge him this time. He looks way cooler in this one. First try. What a pathetic way to die. He's holding something. Observation note. The discovery of the G virus was in fact 21 years after the administration of the primogenitor virus. Prototype parasite, which he had delivered from a laboratory in France, was administered to the sample specimen. Lack of any reaction was an unsolved mystery. Prototype parasite was incubating in the sample specimen's body for 21 years. Then, from that incubating state, the prototype suddenly mutated. Oh, so there's some shenanigan with Wesker. I think so. Derive a method to be able to create the G that surpasses the performance of the T. This must be setting up more stuff in the later Resident Evil games. Ian Birkin. I can't wait to see the look on Alexia's annoying face when I finally announce my research. Interesting. Wish I could just shoot the shit out of the tyrant's body here. Too hideous to describe.
Barry! Barry! You're okay.
Jill, sorry. That was careless of me. Wesker.
He's dead, so.
He's gone.
What?
First,
Did he
let's just
Batman
get out of
us? There's bonus lore for checking his body, that's cool. That's super mean of them to put that gate there. I mean, the fight seemed a little bit easier, but probably because I'm playing on easy. But I don't think there's a safe place to dodge him. Super mean. I do like all the little things that mess with you if you played the 96 game, like the dog hallway being different. Yeah, it's perfect. I like it a lot.
Wesker must have set it off. Let's hurry.
Thanks, Wesker. At least it wasn't a load-bearing boss this time. He almost has good trigger discipline. Alright, let's not make the same mistake we made in the first game. I thought there was a hidden timer here in the first game, and screwed up as a result. So ink ribbon, I think I do need to have one empty slot before I leave, but I'll have it from there. You cannot save your... Oh, you can save your progress, okay. It's like, what? Alright, if that's my last save, let me see how many ribbons do I have remaining? How close did I get to the goal of 0? 4? I think I saved maybe like 15 times or something in 96. 9. Alright. And that's with having saved at every single possible opportunity. If I was in a safe room, I saved. I think I got down to 2 at one point, and I decided not to. Hardcore your first time? What makes you say that? Oh, more of those douchebags. Mean. Releasing all locks. Alright, they're making it clear why this prison door suddenly and magically opens. Sorry about the wait.
Sorry about the wait.
So everything's taken care of?
Well, almost. Now let's get the hell out of here.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Let's get out of here, Chris. Let's be useless to me.
Come on, let's go.
I'm gonna run ahead and not help you. Probably because they didn't want to, like, code for him dealing with enemies. I think there were some new zombies up here last time. Sounds like it. Maybe not. Never mind. To get one more save in me. Oh, I misused the singleton ink ribbon. Oh well, it's fine. Yeah, I wonder whether the How Long to Beat, like, I wonder if some of these older games where it's possible to lose a lot of time to being lost and to gaming over because of limited saves, if the How Long to Beat is mostly populated by people who played it before, you know? Like how many blind playthroughs are in there?
Come on, come on!
Like newer games, you're probably safer trusting it. I'm coming. The reason there's a battery in this hallway is to make sure you don't get to the top. Oh my god, they give you all the items here. Make sure you don't make it to the top without an item slot.
If there's anyone alive, contact me now or just give me a sign. I repeat, this is your last chance.
Working on it. It's a fuse unit instead of a battery. Assume once you put it in there, you can't leave the room or accidentally fill your inventory.
Damn it! We're almost there! Jill, you just get in contact with Brad.
No!
We can make it. Jill, ladies first.
Boo.
Would you let me have my moments too?
You haven't had any
We'll
moments.
rendezvous at the heliport.
There's 2 checks to make sure that you have a free slot. There's the battery, and then in case you shenanigan anything, there's the flare that you have to shoot off. So I don't think we're going to start Resident Evil 2 today. I want to make sure we have more than an hour to start with. But we'll definitely get to it next week. And we'll take the signal rockets. Thank you. Hey, it's my friends.
Jill!
I thought the tyrant was just gonna come out of the elevator this time instead of popping through the floor. Are they here to help this time? That's nice. Oh, Chris is dead. I got turning into a monster removed his junk. Oh god, he's way fast. He's fast in the 96 game as well, but yikes. Wow. You stay as close to topped off as humanly possible here.
Jill, use it!
I think they gave that to me much sooner than they did in 96. I will take the rocket launcher and hopefully not miss this time, so I don't have to worry about auto-aim anymore. Examine. Very destructive weapon that fires rockets within a large blast radius. I like the multiple shots, that was cool. I'm a member of STARS. I really like that Barry was there to help. I guess I probably could have killed him earlier. It's kind of a bummer that Chris didn't help. He's gonna get knocked out. Useless. There's canon to both parts of the story, I guess. I guess I should prep for Resident Evil 2. I think somebody mentioned in an earlier session that you need to do both the Claire and Leon playthroughs in order to beat the game. Or that there's significantly different content between the two of them. This was great. I was really enjoyed this remake, and I'm excited to do Resident Evil 2 and see the remake of that one. I like this series. Freaks me out, I'm excited to get to the action games, so I can be less freaked out all the time. But as far as like still having action elements, I think this one feels a lot more survival horror. There's a little girl. Yeah. Well, I usually try to only play the newest version of a game. But if it's a remake, I'll make an exception. It's useful to see, you know, what they really changed when they remade it. Zombie and etc. Thanks, Barry. Presented by Capcom. What a developer.
Jill, you did a fine job.
Taking candy from a baby. Ammo used. Ink ribbons used. 67. Nice. I guess to get the best rating, you want to like dispatch as few creatures as possible, use as little ammo as possible, barely ever save, and use no health items. Closet key. Jill's new costume. I'm going to try really hard to avoid having VODs that are less than an hour, so we'll wrap there and then we'll pick up next time. Once again, that was like a new game plus. Interesting. Cool.